Whoa, is this unstable? He like leaned on it and did a wicked tilt.
A wicked tilt?
I'm from New England. Hi BookTube, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Rebecca.
And today, it's Galentine's Day.
Happy Galentines.
Which, for those of you who don't know, is the day before Valentine's Day. And it's for celebrating the lady love in your life. The gal love, the friend love with the gals.
I think they got it.
So today we have some questions themed around female friends.
Gals.
Yeah, gals. Question number 1. Favorite or best female friendship?
I picked one that I actually, I just read this book,
Mm-hmm.
and the book was called Life is Wonderful, People Are Terrific.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I picked the protagonist, Missy, and then a friend she makes named Tommy, who is a girl. They both, the protagonist in that book, Missy, is just, such a fuck-up throughout the book, and she's...
We'll just turn that off.
Protagonist Missy is just, constantly fucking up throughout the book.
Uh-huh.
Where she's recently got into college, she's drinking a lot. It's stuff that I really related to, because I fucked up a lot when I first went to college and stuff like that.
Okay.
And, Tommy was just so understanding of a lot of the things that she was going through, and I don't know, she really picked up Missy a lot and, helped her through, really difficult times, and it was so sweet. And they were so gay.
So they were gal pals?
No, they actually were never together, which was cool, you know, they had other gal pals.
Okay.
Yeah, throughout.
I thought for this one that I would throw out a romance female friendship, just because I think that, because I made a comment earlier about how, I just read a bunch of romance and those never have female friendships. So I thought I'd throw out one that had some female friendship, even though it's still, a female-male romance. I chose the Bitten series by C.C. Wood. It's vampires.
Mm-hmm.
What? I know! The Bitten series is one of those ones where each book in the series is about another girl from the group of friends.
Okay.
Which is kind of a setup that I see a lot, and I don't always like, but I don't always mind.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one where I felt like, oh, these people are actually friends. And the ones who weren't really connected were like, once their book came along, they were like, oh, I don't talk to them as much, or I feel so disconnected. They felt like real people, and they felt like real people before their book came along.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of them, it's just like, oh, these are my friends, and then they list some names, and then the next book, it's like, Lucy is good.
And, you just met Lucy, once.
Yeah. This is one where I felt like they were really friends,
mm-hmm.
and I felt like it was there. So, not the best female friendship, but I wanted to give it a mention because I don't see even decent female friendships in romance.
Yeah, that's sad, huh?
Question number 2. Your favorite literary sisters. So for this one, I said Lizzie and Jane Bennett.
I thought about
Did
them!
you?
I didn't write it down because I thought you might.
But
I thought about that. I passed it because I'm going through Goodreads trying to find it, and I was like, oh, that's such a good sister relationship.
It's a classic sister.
Yeah.
Talk about sisters or female friendships in romance. It's the OG.
I probably could have picked a few of this, but I ended up picking Meerkat and Constance. They're from We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson.
Okay.
It's a short novel, but they're so protective of each other in a way, and they're both very isolated, and they kind of support their not always great habits, but they try their best to be there for each other, and it's kind of a twisted relationship in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways it's a twisted relationship. But it was so fascinating to read.
Question number 3. Favorite mother-daughter relationship.
I technically picked they're not technically mother and daughter.
Okay.
I'll admit. But they have a mother-daughter relationship. For sure. And I picked Danielle and Doc from the Dreadnought series.
Okay.
Mostly in Sovereign. They have a relationship in Dreadnought, but in the sequel Sovereign, they definitely have, a mother-daughter kind of dynamic. And they both help each other. Danielle's younger, so Doc is aiding her in a lot of ways and trying to guide her through, becoming a superhero and stuff like that. But Doc has a lot of issues of her own, and Danielle is working to try to help, her with that.
I think the best mother-daughter relationships that I see in stories go both ways.
Too often, the mom is just,
Generic advice giver.
Or like, do your homework. This is what's for dinner now. You know
it's
what
like
I mean?
a mother vending machine. It's just
that is such a good way to describe it. Like the writer was just like boop boop boop, and like a mom popped out, and they're like, her name's Elizabeth, and like that's like it. And they don't even go by. You never even know their name. Their name is just
it's
Mom.
Mrs. something.
Mrs. something or Mom, or she's dead.
Ah,
I guess.
too many dead mothers.
Yeah, she's dead or she's the mom.
Question number 4. Pick your literary BFF.
I could pick like 500.
Yeah, I know,
Like-
that's so true. I kind of just picked one that I thought would be cool, but every book I read, I feel like I find my own BFF there. I went with From Neverwhere by Neil
Okay.
Gaiman. I picked Hunter. I know you'd think I would pick Door.
Dor is the main
one. Hunter is like the badass hunter.
I don't remember her.
And she's stoic and she's weird and she's focused. She's badass, and I feel like I would just be like, all she would talk about is hunting, and I'd be like, you do you. You know?
I picked Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle.
I haven't read Hell's Moving.
Oh, have you seen it?
No.
It's delightful. Either old lady Sophie, because she's an old lady, because she gets cursed and she's an old woman throughout a lot of Howl's Moving Castle.
That sounds kind of fun to have an old lady BFF, though.
Right.
Like, I feel like
Old
I
lady
would relate. You know? Having, like, an old lady... You ever just, like, wish that you were there? Like, you were just, like, done with everything in life, and you could just do whatever
Can
you
I
wanted?
just already be old?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But, like, not really, because you still want to live all those years and everything.
It's true. I
But
feel
you
like
just want to
yeah.
live that...
Like, I have an excuse for my bitterness.
Yeah.
Like, I'm too young to be this pissed at the world.
This
kind of
bitter and lazy and just...
thing. Done.
Yeah, done. I'm not like that smart. I'm not smart enough to say a lot of the things I say.
That's
But
true.
I'm gonna say them anyway. Are you agreeing that I'm not smart enough?
No! I was thinking about for myself. No, that's true, Sarah. You're not smart enough to say what you say. How you fill it? You gotta fill it to the top.
You just pour until no more fits.
These
and
cups
then you
are too small.
They are actually
Who
really
only drinks
small.
this much wine?
Actually, for wine, you're only supposed to drink a little.
Listen, if you don't fill up that bowl of a wine glass, you're not doing it right.
No, how are you gonna aerate it properly? How do you test?
I don't need
the
to aerate my
legs
$5
of the-
box. Sarah, you drink wine from a box. You really need to aerate
Not
it.
that one. Question number 5. A book that you would give to all your gal pals. My first thought was I'd want to give a romance book, because I think a lot of people judge romance books and judge them harshly and don't understand what they're missing in life. Everyone should know that romance could just be as close as a book on your nightstand.
You need that framed. A new t-shirt! Man, we haven't had a t-shirt idea in so long!
Oh.
I picked a book that I just finished a few weeks ago. A couple weeks ago. I don't know. What's time? Nothing. I picked Graceland by Kristen Kishore, which, like, is like a fantasy... Anyway, but I picked it because the protagonist, Katsa, is, like, such a fucking badass. Like, she is unbeatable. Like, you cannot hurt this girl. She will fuck you up. But at the same time, you know how a lot of those, like, badass characters are, like, cold and motionless, like, females, you know what I mean?
So when I
Like-
picked Hunter as my kid, that's kind of...
Yeah, it's a pretty common, like, one to
Yeah.
tack on. But Katsa's not like that. She'll, like, cry when she gets emotional. She cries frequently
Okay.
in that book, which I love. Which sounds so silly, but she's, like, a tough badass who will kill you.
Yeah.
And then, like, she'll cry about, like, you know, missing her friend. Like, which I find really sweet. The romance in it is so wonderful. Like, her love interest is such a sweetheart. And they're so cute together. And he's, like, one thing I like about Poe is that he also likes to fight, and he knows that Katsa can kick his ass, and he does not mind. He's like, yeah, let's practice. You can teach me something. He, like,
That's
is
pretty
never
great.
emasculated by her.
As I get older, I'm kind of like, I, as far as romance goes in, like, books and stuff, I start liking the, like, hyper-masculine men. Maybe not hyper. Pretty masculine men, not to the point of obnoxiousness. But, like, big, muscly men,
I don't like them.
I never used to like that.
I still don't, and I'm
You know
older
what
than
I think was the tipping point for me? I know the moment. It's when I saw Hellboy.
So,
really good
Hellboy, you saw Hellboy, and you're like, that's what I
No,
want.
I don't think I knew.
No.
I don't think I knew. It was a turning point for me, not to my knowledge. But, like, Also, just for the record, like, his pecs were a prosthetic. Like, it was not a real person. Like, his abs and his arms, I think, were real, just heavily covered in makeup. His face, not at all real. But the man was real.
So you can't date a man who's 5'4". Not a lot of
it. You know, there's more than you would think.
Oh, nice. It's interesting, though, because with women, I also like them to be kind of short, even shorter than me.
I like big warrior women.
That's also sexy. I'm much less particular. I mean, I'm much less particular about them. What did I even say?
Why are you not just full-on lesbian? I don't know. Like, you could do it so well. You could live that life.
I could, but I also like penis.
Yeah, I do too.
It's tough.
It's a hard life.
That was our Galentine's tag.
That's Galentine's Day.
That's Galentine's Day.
That's Galentine's Day.
We will tag some of our favorite Galentine's pals below.
In the description.
In the description.
So, happy Galentine's Day, y'all. Cheers.